Unmuted.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to the 4 o'clock hour. We're 4 hours into this baby, and this is the walking around and showing you all the construction projects that we've been working on, and to show you all this money that we raised last year during the Give to the Max, and also the big reveal that we did of our season. All those generous gifts of what we've been able to do to take care of this old girl and make it much more accessible, cleaner, and much better experience for not only our patrons, but also our actors and our directors and our technical crew. So we're going to take a little bit of a trip. But before we do that, I just want to go over again why we're doing Give to the Max this year. This year, we're raising funds for our handicap seating areas. As you know, in the past, our handicap seating area is down near the front, and truthfully, it's the only place we could put it. But it's also not the safest place should there be an emergency. So what we wanted to do is with talking with ADA and making sure that we're compliant with everything. And it's the safest way to go about things by talking to the fire marshals, just to make sure that in all things that are Andrea Theater, that we're the safest that we can possibly be, that we're going to do some additions to our auditorium for our handicapped patrons that come to shows and their companions. So that's what we're doing with the funds that we raised today. We're going to be putting those towards construction project probably in the next year or a year and a half, to just upgrade that and make it just much better for everybody, safer, easier access, and just make it overall better. So we're looking forward to getting that project done shortly, but we're going to show you what all our money that we raised last year went for in just a moment. But just as a reminder, we're going until 12 a.m. tonight. And so in the coming hours, we've got our news with Chuck at 5 o'clock, and then we'll have our Trav's waffle breakfast. Patrick Steve's going to come over. We're going to make some waffles and have huckleberry syrup from Montana, and it will be fabulous. Our sponsor, of course, we want to always highlight our sponsor for our season, and that is Alamere Health. We're just very grateful for them and all that they have done to sponsor us this season. The sponsors for our upcoming shows for All Is Calm, it's Coldwell Banker Crown Realtors. Big the Musical is Sean Riley with the Realty Group. Diary of Anne Frank is American Business Solutions, and 9 to 5, the musical, is Vance Thompson Vision. So we're grateful for them. Sponsoring a show means a lot of things. Not only does it help us put the production on, but it also gives us a chance to highlight those businesses. And so thank you for shaking hands with us that way. Our Seniors on Stage, Whatever Happened to Warren, Bethany on the Lake is sponsoring both Whatever Happened to Warren and Creamed Corn Queen, both comedies for our SOS program. Seniors on Stage is what that is. And our student theater projects have all been sponsored this next coming summer. Disney's Finding Nemo is Bethany on the Lake. Disney's 101 Dalmatian Kids is Sanford Health. Appreciate them very, very much. And Disney's Descendants, a musical, is Swenson Lervick Law Firm. So we're grateful for them. And also, in the 7 to 9 o'clock hour, when we do the drive up, if you're driving around, driving your kids to school, going to work, you can pull into the theater. We're going to have a special lane that you can pull in, and whatever change you've got in your vehicle, if you've got 75 cents, if you've got $5, whatever you've got, just grab change and put it in the bucket. Our blow up pigs will be out there. Our CAP students from the high school, as well as Olivia, will be out there. Not only have they been dancing in their pig costumes, but they're going to be waiting on you with buckets, and we're going to put that in. And we've got a match for up to $500 that we raise in coins. Cody Reland with Edwin Jones. Making sense of investing is his slogan, and Cody does an amazing job with your investment dollar. See him if you'd like to talk about investing. Cody is going to match up to $300 that we raised to the coins. So possibility of getting $1,000 today with that. So he's going to match up to $500. Oh, sorry. Did I say three?
Yeah.
Sorry. Match up to $500 is what he's going to do. So bring your change over, and when you drop your change off, we're going to hand you a nice hot cup of apple cider, and you can go on your way, but we appreciate you very much. So we're going to do a little walkabout here, and I'm going to just take you on a tour of all the new stuff that we've got going on. So it's going to be a little bit of walking, and Jake, I hope, is ready. I'll make sure he doesn't. He's getting ready. We're all coming. Okay. He's not going to pull a muscle. Don't pull a muscle, Jake. Okay, that was a good sip of coffee. I enjoyed that very much. So, when we've done productions before, what changed and made us do this is our makeup room that used to be the old projection booth of the theater, where all the projectors were. So when you watched the movie, that's where we projected from. Became the makeup room. And our sound booth, which you'll see, was really crammed. And it used to be just a sound technician and a lighting technician. Well, over the last 13 years, that's grown immensely. So not only do we do sound and lighting, we also do projections. We do sound effects. We do different tracks. Plus, we have a camera system now that we have somebody man. So there's times that you have five people up there running different operations in the booth, and it's so cramped that when we wanted to not only reduce the noise of our actors going up and down the stairs, so we moved the makeup room downstairs and moved our current production booth into where the makeup room. And those of you that have performed here will know what I'm talking about. If not, I'm going to show you exactly what it is. So we're going to go this way. We already showed you, but if you weren't, this is our new concession area that we put in. This room we just put in for our concessions and all our storage. So that's that. And the old theater, this wall wasn't here. It was further back and there's a little bit more room, but we added this wall right here. So this is kind of the new backstage lobby for our actors and performers. We've got our sink and a restroom back here. The guys' dressing room hasn't really changed very much, except for the fact that it's got new flooring and it's a little bit more open now. We don't have those huge cabinets in it. And a new paint job, and the door is getting redone. But the makeup room that we moved from upstairs is now down here. Going to be it's going to be really bright. Hopefully it's not too bright. It's a little bit smaller than our old makeup room, but the most important thing is do your makeup, get out of here, get in character, and get ready to go. So that's a brand new room that was created that was never here before. Then the girls' dressing room is a lot bigger than it used to be. It's much longer, and there's a little bit more space in here. These take up enough space. And down here, there'll be a nice sewing room for our costumers to use, because that way they don't have to take it home, and they can do costuming here. So a lot more convenient for them. So the new ramp is now in, as well as cork flooring. And the old cork flooring that was very slick, ladies, is not slick anymore. It's really quite grippy. And in our shop, it's a mess right now because of the construction. Really, what we took off the shop was about 5 to 6 feet that we cut. And so we're going to have to do some moving around a little bit, but it's not going to be too bad. So it's a mess right now with all this calm and everything else that we're trying to do. So we're going to go this way. Sorry, Jake. Maybe you step forward. And now we'll go upstairs. Watch your step right here, Jake. The new carpeting in here. We're going to get this all painted. It's going to be painted. So the lighting is new that we have in here. It's all dimmable. This used to be our old sound booth and technical booth. Now it's going to be a 6-person executive suite. So for 6 people to come, and they'll have meat, cheese, wine, dessert. It's going to have its own fridge and cabinetry in here, specifically for 6 people, 5 to 6 people, to enjoy a show all together. So it should be pretty nice. And then this is the new sound booth. So what used to be our makeup room is now a really comfortable suite for our technicians that They will have a counter here. And this that you're looking through right now is the new holes that were built for our technicians. Now they've got kind of pretty much central view of what's going on. There'll be cabinets back here. These beautiful cabinets will be in our executive suite, and black cabinets will be up here. And it'll be a nice open area for our technicians that used to have no room at all. So, and then of course our small suite, which is just stuffed full of equipment right now, is right here. And it's a nice area for two people to watch a show and have some meat and cheese and wine and enjoy the show. It's a wonderful opportunity. Wonderful opportunity. It's a wonderful place to watch a show. You can, pretty much stand up, you can turn around, you can watch the show and move around all you want, and it doesn't bother anybody. So this will be very nice for our technicians. I think it's got a lot more room, and everything should work, and just have a lot more freedom. So we're excited about it. It's been a long time coming, and we think it's pretty cool. So hopefully it'll be done in the next week or two. Completely done, hopefully, and maybe we'll give you some pictures later on about that. So that's pretty much what we've been doing. It's taken, like Leah said, 70 days. It'll probably take close to 90 days before it's completely done, but it should be pretty nice. We shut down right after Beauty and the Beast and didn't have another production. We did not have a fall production or our fall kids production. And so the first show up is going to be All Is Calm. So we're excited. It'll be brand new. We'll have a new microphone system put in, hopefully by All Is Calm. But everything will be fresh and new for All Is Calm. So it should be quite an amazing production. And technically, it'll be a lot smoother, just for our technicians to be able to run things with a little bit of space. So any questions you guys have or anything you guys want to add? Holly's one of our technicians that's up here a lot of times running all our projections. So she knows what it's like to be crammed into that corner, and she'll have a nice space that Jake is kind of leaning up against right now. It'll be much nicer, I think, for everybody up here. Hopefully we'll get a little fan going up here because it probably get a little warm. But new ceiling, new lighting, and it gets fairly dark. I noticed that, it doesn't go completely off unless you turn the lights completely off, which you can, but that way you can turn it down and have just enough light but there'll also be lighting up here so you guys can see. So yeah, that's pretty much it, really. That didn't take very long to walk through that, but took 15 minutes. But we're hoping more than anything, since we upgraded, I think I've got it where I can turn, yeah. You can't really see, but if I were to turn, is it coming out? Well, it's good. The new lighting system is up there that we've had going for about a year, where it's been complete. And we upgraded and we moved some of our robo lights. Now there's 4 of them out in the house and 4 of them up on stage. So it's made a huge difference. All the donations that we've got and things that we've tried to take care of in the building has been because of your donations. So we're grateful that we've taken a theater that used to seat 450 and now seats only 372. But we're averaging across the board, across 5 shows last year, 5 main stage shows, we averaged 82%. So that's pretty good for a community theater to average across the board, and whether it was drama or musical, 82%. So it's not too bad. We sold out 25 shows last year. So that's not bad. Not bad at all. We're just really grateful for we have the new loop hearing system that's been in for a couple years. So not only are we trying visually to take care of things, but audio wise, for those patrons that have hearing aids, we're able to tune right into their hearing aid and they can hear everything that's happening on stage and not miss a single thing. So makes it a lot better to come to productions. Everybody seems to be able to hear much better than ever before. So we'll go back downstairs and we'll talk a little bit more about the day and let us know if you have any questions. If you're watching and you have any questions, I can take you anywhere in the theater you want to go, except in the catacombs because I don't feel like crawling. New carpeting throughout here. And Holly, I don't know if you even noticed this out here. When they put, this is the carpeting we've had out here for 2 or 3 years. Well, maybe longer, like 4 or 5. But they went and found, this is brand new. So they went and found, I don't know how they did it, but they went and found this exact,
Got moved back.
and the wall that used to be, yeah, it used to be out here further, the old concession room, but they matched it and it, so it's going to be seamless once we get it vacuumed up. And of course, the concession, take this out and put it back on the music stand. Thank you, Jake, so much for
I'm doing a really great job right now.
walking with me.
I just,
Doing a fabulous job.
yeah, I'm pointing at the ceiling right now,
There you go.
so things are going great over here.
So
Don't mind me.
So for those of you that are watching, do you have any questions you might want to know? If that is, if you are watching, I wouldn't blame you if you were.
Kelly says, nice, so fun to see the changes and seeing Andrea continue to make improvements.
We're trying. And Kelly, you're a big part of that. Kelly, really, when she was on the board and she was helping us with our, our accounting, as far as we take very seriously where we put every single penny that this theater makes. And I know that Kelly was dedicated to making sure not only we were protected and like when COVID hit, we felt it, we really felt it, but we were, how shall I say, I guess probably we were insulated just a little bit at the first part of it. And so thank you, Kelly, for that. But the changes that we've done, it's all because our board and the staff have been dedicated to making sure that you don't just come to the same building every time you come to a production. It may be the same structure, but it looks different. I mean, the colors change every once in a while, or we upgrade things to make it just easier for everybody to come see a show. And so when they sit down, they're more comfortable. They know that their needs are being taken care of. We're still trying to work on our restrooms for the ladies. And if you've been to a production, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's going to happen very, very soon. We're trying to bite off little bits and pieces of structures that have been there for a long time and make it as comfortable as possible. So thank you again, Kelly, for your donation and for your service to our theater. And we hope to see you really, really soon. So Jake, I needed that. That's a cup of coffee. I needed that very, very badly. I'm doing a podcast from time to time, and Jake and I got an opportunity to record the very first podcast, which didn't work great because the microphones didn't work so awesome. Yeah, Jake's gonna. That's a smart idea, Jake.
There we go.
So even though you can't see Jake on thing, you can hear him talk. So we were talking when we did the podcast about plays like or shows like Play That Goes Wrong, or even this one, All Is Calm. These are shows that probably professional theaters would say, nah, community theater shouldn't do it. Community theater just shouldn't do it. And so when we talked that night, we talked about, not only is it a good idea for community theaters to do this, but it should be a standard because it stretches us, it pushes us, and it gets us out of what may be the safe route. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you kind of nailed it with it forces us not to be complacent, right? Complacency kills in all aspects of everything. And especially when it comes to community theater, because we're all doing it for the love of the game, right? No one's making really any money in the community theater game. So we're all here because we love to do what we do. And in order to continue getting more involvement from your community, getting new blood into your talent pools, whether that's on stage or off stage. Um, you have to do new and exciting things, right? You can't keep doing Hello Dolly every year and expect to see your seats filled. And audiences are so much more. Uh, what is the word I'm looking for here? Um, Dissatisfied with the plain Jane, stage. They're seeing these epic Marvel movies where things are jumping off the screen right at them, and they expect that same production level in live theater, especially when you've seen what has been going on in the professional theater world with the things that they're doing now on stage. Um, the merge of live theater and visual multimedia performance is blurred. I remember a number of years ago, production out of Toronto had a car on stage, and then they were projecting a moving background on it and rain effects on it, and someone in the audience went up to a person involved in the production and goes, how do you get all the water off the stage in between the blackouts so fast? Because they couldn't tell the difference of real water effect versus projected water, and it's getting better and crazier every year. And so community theaters have to step it up and try new things and experiment, and be willing to invest in not only the right talent to bring in for these kind of productions, artistically, but also technically too. There's a lot that goes into it. I mean, you guys are a great example of you're doing a lot more with your projection and lighting than you were 5 years ago. And little steps like that make a huge difference in just expanding our world.
And we get it. We understand. There are a lot of productions we just were talking about some last hour that we would love to do, but we simply can't. You technically can't get it done the way it should be. And yet there are some productions that we don't even balk at anymore. And it's like, no, we can do that. It's amazing what $5 a roll of duct tape and a smart mind can come up with. It's our props mistress Hillary. It's things that you go, okay, we need this, and she goes, yep, okay, I got an idea, and the next thing you know, it shows up. So there are people that are really dedicated to, no matter what the production is making it as professional as it possibly can be. We get it. We're in rural Minnesota. We're not near any major cities. We're 2 hours away from Minneapolis and 2 hours away from Fargo, and we get it. We're a community theater. But that said, we want our performers, our actors, or even just the guy, the fireman or the doctor or the construction worker that wants to get on stage and did it back in college or did it back in high school. We want them to be pushed, that we understand that we're still in the entertainment business, and we still want people to come to our theater to say, truthfully, that's the best $25 I've ever spent. My whole family was completely entertained. We had a wonderful time. What a great opportunity. And we're so impressed with the talent you have. I love it that every community has talent in their area. You always hear, I can't believe the talent we have in this area. But really have to say with this theater, I'm blown away with the stuff that we have here. The people, and not only their talent level, but their heart and how much they love this community. and how hard they work to just make the productions the best they can. So that's pretty cool.
I mean, community theater doesn't have to mean amateur.
Right.
It doesn't have to mean bad.
Because that's what people expect.
Right.
A lot of times you go to a community theater, oh, it's community theater. We want people to walk out going, this is community theater? These people are from here, and it used to be 10 years ago, there would be people come in and go, are all these people local? And you'd say, yeah, they're from here. And they'd go, well, I'm not interested in them. We don't hear that anymore. We don't hear that because I think it's getting around that it may not be, it may not be Broadway quality, but it's well worth going to see because it's done well. Our directors know what they're doing, and you put that with technicians that know what they're doing and a staff that supports them and a board that holds the whole thing up, and you got magic.
Yeah. And what a sad mentality to think, oh, if they're local, I don't want to see that. Like that should encourage you to go and witness and support that local talent even more.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think you'd be hard pressed to find, and I'm just touting our own horn for a minute, but hard pressed to find another community theater that does 9 to 10 productions a year. I mean, that's pretty hard to find. 5 main stage, plus you've got all the student shows, plus you've got an improv team that performs, plus you have, I mean, truthfully, all said and done, you were eking up on 20,000 people that came to shows last year. That's, for a community theater, that's a big deal, a really big deal, and we don't take that lightly. So I'm proud of us that we try new things. We got a long way to go. We got a lot that we can learn, and we brought in a director to direct this Christmas show, and we're trying not only to say we're going to expand our boundaries and get outside input, but also to there are people that say, well, I'm not going to go because they are local, or I don't expect much. But you bring in another director and they might say, hey, you know what, I want to go see what's going on. If they're bringing other people in as well, then not only they're willing to share with the community, but they also want other input, and they want to share their talents and stuff with other directors. And you, for example, coming from the cities, and Michael coming from the East Coast, and we're very grateful. It's pretty cool what we've got going on. But you get a lot of experience and stuff down in the cities, and you keep coming back, so it's obviously we're doing something right.
Well, it's you've not only cultivated an artistically fulfilling venue, but you've also created a community around your community theater.
Yeah.
This is not the the cool kids club.
Yeah.
Everyone here pulls their own weight, works hard, and at the end of the day, you walk out of here with some lifelong friends. And I think that's commendable.
And you got people that move away from the area, Ben and, Kara, and there's some others. And we, you poll those people every once in a while and you keep talking to them, and the things that they say and the things that they miss, but also, Dave Campbell, Dave and Marcia were great supporters of this theater. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have that marquee out there. It started with Aspire, and they basically helped us get it. Dave just passed away, a couple months ago, and dearly missed. But he would say to us all the time, come to every production and just go, I like what you're doing. I really like what you're doing. You're growing up. We hear that a lot. It's growing up. It's getting better. It's getting quicker, and it's more of an expectation now than just a thing to do. The expectation is it's going to be good. It may not be my cup of tea or my favorite type of production, but I'm going to go because the last one was so good. So, we're very grateful for our past and all the actors and performers and patrons that have come in the past that built, and supported us and got us to where we are. And hopefully we're still knocking the doors down 25 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, long after I've gone to be with the Lord. But so the podcast, we're gonna do a new podcast here coming up. I'm gonna have Jake, we're gonna do another one. We're gonna re-record that one that didn't go so well. My fault, my fault, my fault.
Technical problems.
Technical issues.
Sure.
Yes.
We're learning.
Wonderful, wonderful technical issues. So,
It's hard when everyone and their mom has a podcast nowadays. If you put anything out that's mediocre, it's just gonna
It's a waste.
end up in the trash. So you got to do it right. So it's okay.
So my Band-Aid's falling off.
Oh, you poor thing.
Fix that. I got a cut. It's been a long, you think back time when you were a kid, you used to get a Band-Aid every day. And I think it's the first Band-Aid I put on in years. And it was just a dumb thing. I was taking these refrigerators. I know, it's just a little side. That's what it says. Those refrigerators out, one was out of its box, the other one wasn't. So I cut the top open and started cutting down the sides. Didn't notice that the bottom had already been cut open, and the top was protecting it. And so when they brought it in, all you had to do is that and slide it in. Well, once I realized that, I went, oh. And as my hand came down, it sliced right on the cardboard and cut it really, really deep. So
you got a paper cut.
paper cut, yeah,
Really?
pretty deep.
It
Yeah.
was riveting, man.
Wasn't it? It was painful. It's very painful. And so
So was listening to it.
what's that?
So was listening to it.
Yeah. There's blood in this theater, my blood. So I'll always be here. I'm always here.
I didn't like the way you said that.
I'm always here.
It was a little creepy.
So we got about 10 minutes left. Jake, what's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal?
Yeah.
A bear.
A bear.
I want a bear as a pet because I could wrestle him and we would be friends.
You would be friends. Holly, what's your favorite animal?
That is a really tough question for me. Really tough question. Depends on if it's land or sea.
Okay, sea.
Dolphin.
Dolphin.
Sea turtle.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, sea turtle.
do you have a favorite sea animal?
An orca.
Orca.
I think they're terrifying, but they're very pretty.
They're very cool. That's a very cool animal.
And honestly, I could watch pandas all day.
Panda.
Pandas are really fun to watch.
Panda is like,
They have no bones. They can't. They fall and they
I
talk.
don't understand how they exist as a species outside of captivity
Right.
when you watch them.
Panda is like a kind land orca.
I don't even think that's even remotely accurate.
They're kind. They're kind.
They're kind, yeah.
And they're land.
They are
And they're
on
black
land.
and white.
Yeah, but orcas are
Or they're a furry.
killer whales.
Or they're a furry tree hugging mime.
I also think that's just mimes still.
Not all mimes, I'm sure, are kind. Most of them.
Well, no, but furry and tree hugging.
Furry and tree. The furry. Hi, I'm Bruce, the furry tree hugging mime.
Things have devolved here. Things have devolved.
So orca and bear and dolphin and
No, sea turtle.
Sea turtle
sea turtle.
and
Panda.
panda.
And
I
Is
really
what Holly
like
said.
Horses too.
horses are cool.
Horses are amazing.
Horses are big Labradors.
What is your sea animal, Dave?
I'd probably say a dolphin.
Dolphin. And what about a land animal?
Quokka.
I'm sorry?
Quokka.
Quokka.
Bless you.
What? Please tell me you know what a quokka is.
I don't know what a quokka is.
Quokka
They
is
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Quokka's always smiling. And they're just
Are
awesome.
they the little bear things?
Yes.
Kind of. Look,
These
shall
guys.
Oh yeah, the little happy bears.
I bring one up? Oh.
Yeah.
Let me see.
You
if
got to
I-
drag it over to the screen. I think I didn't get enough training on how to do things
You see
on
this?
the stream.
What give the max? Did you see this? What they've raised today so far?
No, I didn't.
Pretty cool. $13 million.
13 million
Mhm.
today.
13,735,000. That is
That's pretty cool.
that is
Is that for the
probably
month or
since
just today?
November 1st.
Oh,
today.
since November 1st. Still, it's impressive.
Um,
We raised $775.
yes, we have. We're on a roll. Woo-hoo. For those of you that are home and watching, which there might not be anybody, but
There's a couple.
I don't know how. Holly, how do I get a quokka?
There you go.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't see. I can't see what he's seeing. Oh, I suppose I could drag it. I don't even know how to spell quokka.
I just,
If you don't know what a quokka is, quokkas are really cute.
right there.
If I, yeah.
You gotta make it big so that
Can you
people
make
can
that
see.
one big? Right there.
Where's the cursor? Is it not over there? Oh, there we go.
Look at it. Look at that one right there.
This one?
Yeah. Maybe we can't make it bigger. Well, I mean, maybe you can see. He's gonna zoom in there really close. That's a quokka. Look at that smile. Look at them. They're adorable. They have little tiny hands. There's one meme of a guy juggling, and the quokka is trying to catch them. It's very sweet. Very, very sweet.
There's.
But if like a pet, I would really want a bush baby. Bush babies are adorable, but
Red panda.
red panda, yeah, red pandas are cute. Red pandas are cute. So a bush baby, it's because they jump and they're cool. But I don't think they're easily found or adopted. I think you can adopt them, but I think you have to go Cambodia or somewhere. So a little far from here. And Jake,
Yes, sir.
you in 5 minutes, you just got done with trips to Egypt
Yeah.
and the Holy Land.
I was in Israel last September. Israel and Jordan, and then yeah, I was in Egypt in May of this last year.
And okay, so give me one word to describe Egypt.
It was adventurous.
Adventurous.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a really fun time. I got to go with some pretty awesome people, and you always make lifelong friends on these kind of trips, and that was definitely the case. Got to do some fun things. Got to see some stuff that I don't think a lot of people get to experience there, and
I didn't.
had a great time.
So one word to sum up the Holy Land.
Eye opening.
Eye opening.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Israel's very cool. Learned a lot there, and yeah, really enjoyed my time there. Jordan was also really fun. I didn't get to spend as much time in Jordan, but I will definitely go back someday.
Someday I hope to go. I didn't go on many trips. I went to Montana, and that was awesome. I don't know if I can come up with a word.
I've never actually been to Montana.
Pretty amazing. The West is Wyoming, Montana. Pretty amazing.
I've flown over it many times, but never been there.
Pretty amazing. You know,
Well, I need to go. I have friends there that I need to go see, but I have not.
I grew up in
Yeah.
a state with less than 500,000 people in the entire state.
That's the dream, man.
And so if you needed to get away, you could get away. You could get away for sure. But what we're going to do is in a couple minutes, we're going to go off the air for 15, and then we'll be back with Mr. Chuck Grussing. Is going to stop in, and we're going to swing the camera around, and we're going to sit at the chairs. And all of us are going to talk to Mr. Chuck and just see what's going on in his life. And I'm sure he'll talk a little bit about all his calm, which will be lovely. And we'll just see what's going on. So in the final 2 minutes, Miss Holly, where's the favorite place you've ever gone?
Did you say favorite place or famous place?
Favorite place you've ever gone?
Favorite place.
Favorite. Okay.
I probably slurred that a little
A
bit.
little bit. A little bit.
Oof, that is a tough one. I would probably have to say probably the island of St. John,
Mm.
the Virgin Islands. Yeah. It's a tiny, tiny little island, and you can literally drive the whole thing, but they've got a gazillion beaches, and then we got to go snorkeling, and you can rent a boat and you can island hop, and it's just you can go on excursions and you can check things out. And
Very cool.
went all the way over, and it was a horrible boat ride, but it was raining and
Mm.
it was crazy. But the furthest eastern island is called Virgin Gorda, and the granite boulders on the beach are the size of houses,
Mm.
and they're just on top of each other, and so you had to like grab rope and go up and over and go up ladders and down ladders, and you could, two of them would be up against each other, and you could literally walk right under the, the little crack between two boulders. It was amazing.
That's really cool.
If I go on vacation, I want to do stuff. That was definitely a place where we went and did that.
How about you?
Favorite place to ever been?
Yeah.
When I was in Israel, we went to I think it was Engedi, and it was like a national park or reserve there, and but it's out in the middle of the desert, not too far from the Dead Sea, really arid area out there, and then there's just this oasis hidden in kind of the crevices of this cliffside, and you walk in there and it's like the Garden of Eden. I mean, it's absolute paradise. There's waterfalls coming down from the top of these cliffs, and there's birds flying, and it was just so beautiful. It was, um, being in Israel every day was better than the day prior,
Mm.
and I think, we're like, oh, there's no way you can top what we did the day before. There's no way we can like, it's just going to go downhill from here, and every day got better and better.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
How about you?
Probably for me, it's standing across from Tintagel Castle. Well, what's left of Tintagel Castle, which is supposedly King Arthur's castle in England, and where we didn't go to where the castle was. We stood on the other side, and if you look down, you can see the cave where they say Merlin lived, and all that happened. And if you close your eyes, you can almost hear the ghosts of the past talk. I mean, it's right on the ocean. It's just beautiful, and the waves crash, and you look over and you see the ruins of, I mean, Stone Age. It's right there in front of you. And if you're patient enough and you can close your eyes, you can almost hear knights clanging armor, and it was pretty impressive, pretty cool. So thank you, Colin Hearn, for that trip. So we're gonna go off the air right now, and we'll see you back in 15 minutes for Mr. Chuck Grissing and the rest of us. See you later. Bye.
And audio.
Good morning. If you're watching, it's the 5 o'clock hour, the grossing hour. Is it, am I pronouncing that right?
You know, that's an interesting thing, David. This spring, I drove out to visit the only other Chuck Grusing in the world, and he lives on the peninsula side of Maryland. And I hadn't seen him since the 60s. But anyway,
Wait a minute. There's another
they pronounce it, yeah, they pronounce it Gressing there, and here it's Grusing. So people will always mispronounce it. There it's Grusing when it's, and we're related to, yeah, there are two of us.
So you're related,
Yes,
and there's Chuck Grusing and Gressing.
yes, even though the names are identical, Charles. In fact, his birthday is 2 days after mine. And a more amazing coincidence is that his wife has the same birthday as my wife.
Stop.
Now, how weird is that?
That is
That's
that's
quite a
extreme,
thing right there.
extremely weird.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
extremely weird. So, so we were talking earlier, we were talking about what, if you could do any show, maybe you've done it before, or you've never done it, or what show would it be that you would just love to be in?
Want to Kill a Mockingbird.
To Kill
And
a
I watched that on stage with John, the guy that was in the Waltons. He had the Gregory Peck part.
Was it Richard Thomas?
Richard Thomas. There you go. It was fun to watch that one. It was downtown cities, I believe, at the Orpheum. Yeah, it was a great play. Yeah, that's one I would like to attempt. At least that character, Atticus Finch, or 12 Angry Men, or something like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
or 12 an Angry Jury, or whatever they call it now. So
I
you
think
can,
it's 12 Angry Men.
yeah, but you can include some women in the cast, or maybe have a preponderance of the jury be women. I think that would be a novel thing to attempt at some point in time. And I'd seen a couple stage versions of that play. I really like that play. Or anything that you've written, I'd love to do.
I've written nothing. It's funny you mentioned Richard Thomas. I was thinking about this the other day, and it's never come up except I was thinking about the other day, and now you say, I took a class from Richard Thomas. He came to a festival where I got my first break. It was a big festival, and you could take classes from actors that they brought in. It was University of Wyoming. Why he came there? They just asked him to come and teach a class, and he taught us the whole paper thing, which I still use today with our students, and that is, you can do it with two people, or you can do it in the mirror, and you put a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper over one side of your face, and you study. The person studies you, then you switch it, and it's amazing how our faces are completely different. The sides of our face are completely different. One side might be, your eye might change. It's amazing. And if you watch somebody do it, you can do it in the mirror. You can look at your face and then turn it over. And it was brilliant because it still teaches, it's just the tools that you have. Everybody thinks everybody's face is symmetrical. It's totally not. And I don't know. Yeah. I mean, and it's like our hands, if you look at your hand, how you got every scar. Our face tells a tale, and tells a story. So that's interesting. But
Yeah, you're right about Richard Thomas. I was thinking John Boy. That's where I got the
Yeah.
John thing, and that was of course the character he played. And I didn't watch the Waltons. I probably caught a couple episodes, but
right.
to what I remember of him, acting in front of the camera versus on stage, it was definitely a different vibe for me. And watching top flight actors, like yourselves, that's still a big learning process for me. Watching competent, actors.
You're way too kind, Jack.
No,
You're
but
way
that's
too
the
kind.
truth. And I know we've talked about this before, David, that, in times on this very stage, I'm so enamored with what's going on that someone is so melded or blended with the character they're portraying that I become an audience member, and it's almost impossible for me to keep in character when I'm just so agape watching someone transform themselves into a character. You know, some people think that's easy, but it tain't.
Truthfully, that's the greatest compliment you could ever give anybody. It really is. Ultimately, is you want somebody to say more than great job or nice job, to say, I believed you. I believed you. Ultimately, if they say you had me, or you touched me, or I believe you, or I believe that, that's the ultimate goal. And I tell you, of course, in Cuckoo's Nest, but in Shawshank, and for being the biggest presence on stage, and you really are the biggest presence on stage, you have, there's an intimacy in what you do that takes us, and we forget about your size, and you pull us. You do, and that's the greatest compliment I could give you, is that you pull us in, and that's our job. That's your responsibility as a performer. But yet you don't command that attention. You offer it to us, and it brings us, and that's just a great thing. It's a great thing.
Oh, thanks.
It is a great
What
thing.
do I owe you? I
No.
left my wallet in the car.
You and Cuckoo, I was floored. And I was doing the video, and there was so many times where I had to keep that angle wide because all the action's happening over here when they were at the table. But the way you
Yes.
brought it all the way over to the other side of the stage because of how your interaction and how you were, you had almost zero lines, but said the most.
Thank
It
you.
was amazing.
And you did that
It's a
10
great
years
story.
ago.
Yeah.
And that, but the great thing is even this last year, I'm going, this is the same man that did this 10 years ago, and he's even better. He's even better. And you know what? Maybe that's the dynamic of different guys, but you didn't play him. You didn't play it. You could have played him exactly the same, but you didn't. You gave him a different edge, and that was pretty brilliant. Pretty brilliant.
I don't think brilliance has anything to do with it, but
Most-
no, thanks so much.
Most definitely. I forgot to mention Kelly Presby, if you're still watching.
Oh, gosh.
You won you were picked to receive the four passes to shows. So if you're coming back into town, you got passes waiting for you. So we've marked that down, and we'll make sure we get those to you, or we'll just keep them in the office. So
In the interest of the love fest that's been going on here, Jess Chornick says, love watching both of these men on stage.
now,
Oh, jeepers.
thank you.
Lots
so
of love.
much.
Lots of love.
Thank you very much. And so I've got a couple questions here that I want you to tell us what's been going on in your life. You've been busy.
Yeah, at theater wise, of course, all is calm. And that's really been a growing experience. I mean, just in the 8 or 9 rehearsals we've had,
Yeah.
yeah. Do some writing for radio theater, and we'll be performing this weekend in Barrett. Yeah, my wife and I seem to stay busy enough between running down to the St. Paul, that's where our 2 grandchildren are. That type of thing. I secretly, I'm not an ambitious or busy person, but I like to do. My wife and I just like to jump in the car and go somewhere.
Yeah.
And at our stage, where we find ourselves in this stage of our lives, anyway. I've really, I'm married up. That's all I can tell you. Anyone that knows Carrie, boy, she's been saddled with me for a long time.
Well, I'm sure she's extremely proud. At least the times I've talked to her, she's extremely proud.
But yeah, I like to go to this theater, and by the way, there's a chance to give, right?
Yes,
This
absolutely. As a matter of fact, we, is there a there's not a giveaway this hour, but there is next hour.
No giveaway.
But yes, if you're watching, please donate if you can.
Next hour. is
next
the
hour.
Travs.
Next hour, we're making some waffles. Stick around and have a waffle with us. We brought back syrup from Montana, from huckleberry syrup.
And
We're gonna-
giving away catering for 10 people.
Yes, catering for 10 people is up for grabs. So your donation is tax deductible. We're trying to raise money to help us put in better handicapped access seating for patrons. And so give if you can. We'd appreciate it very, very much.
We just received an anonymous $1,000 donation.
Mercy.
Wow.
Wow.
Dankeschön. That's,
Thank you.
Wow.
what a way to kick off the morning.
Wow. Chuck, it's you. Totally.
Lots of love. Lots of love.
We're thank you. Whoever did that, I can't thank you enough. I really can't, no matter what the donation level is, but that's a big shot in the arm. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. So all is calm.
Mhm.
So if you had to sum up and be brutally honest, what comes to mind when I say all is calm?
It's not calm. And I don't think the play is calm. It's a great title, great story. But to me, it's not about being calm. And I think the further we progress and when it's showtime, it's a powerful piece. There's plenty of laughs, that type of thing in there, but it's a type of play that'll affect everyone differently. Yeah, it runs the gamut of these poor unfortunates that were in these trenches during a winter of 1914, some godforsaken portion of France. Miserable, lousy conditions, and they have an opportunity to share as enemies often don't share much. But I thank the God, the Almighty, for that. Evidently, one German soldier had the temerity to stand up and start this thing, and boy, and I'm so glad that the author, and he's from Minnesota,
Yeah.
and it's there's a lot to the play. It's more than the music and the remembrances or the letters from home that are narrated are all poignant, and this Michael, the director, is so makes us as actors understand what each of those phrases, even though they might only be 4 or 5 sentences, how much that changes or shifts the emotion.
Right.
So you could be happy at the start of the little narrative, and then by the end you're saying something different that sets up kind of the next scene. I don't know, just impressed with it, and great cast.
It's when we talked about it, from obviously we've seen other casts do it, and we've watched it, but it's just not a production, it's an experience. It's you think about everybody's heard about, they got together and they exchanged gifts, they played soccer, they sang, they did all that. But I think one of the most powerful points in it is when he talks about when they all went back to their trenches, and can you imagine how quiet it was? And then a shot rang out.
Yeah.
And that ended it. And all that, wonderful, one of the things we did in the reveal is I put a letter from one of the soldiers that said that he had met a German soldier on that field, and they had looked at pictures from each other. And one of the German soldiers had a picture of his sister. And the British soldier said, she's kind of cute. She's cute. And the German said, come meet her. when this war is over, here's my address.
That's,
I mean, then the next day they go back to killing each other.
yeah,
And I think Michael's right. There's absolutely no way we can understand. We can't understand that hell. We can't understand that pain, and we can't understand the silence when that stopped. That silence was broken. And I think that that's the thing that we're trying to remember. We circled around as a cast tonight, as a matter of fact, or last night, as it were, and said, why, why do we want to do that? And I think all of us kind of agreed we wanted to honor the past, honor those soldiers, and I mean soldiers in every conflict, but we're talking about this one, and there's not a single one of them left anymore,
no,
and but the stories that that you can read, you goes that's not even humanly possible, and yet that that was before all the technology of war really started. It was still knives and
yeah.
you know
Yeah, the advent of the machine guns and Brownings and automatic rifles and that type of thing really changed the war, and from the late 1800s into the 1900s, and getting back to the truce thing. And I know they every year they wanted to try that, do that again, but the officials, the commanders, wouldn't allow it. Yeah, I'm just old enough that I remember many of my hometown's World War I veterans, and my dad's job was the veteran service officer for Chippewa County, and back then they didn't have a vet van that would shuttle these former soldiers to appointments in the Twin Cities usually. So once I got my license in 1969, and if he was busy in Montevideo in his office, he would contact me in Clare City, or take your mom's car, pick up so-and-so and take him to the vet's hospital. And so I got to, have conversations with some of these guys, and they didn't open up about, how egregious it was, that, terrible things or atrocities. At first they'd always talk about mundane things, normal, when the crops look pretty good, or, something like that. But then they, more often than not, they would share something personal, and it didn't have to be war related or oriented. But yeah, I've drifted again afar. I did tell one story here on stage at one of the first rehearsals, that in my neighborhood, within a block, there were two World War I vets. One was a German vet, and one was a doughboy from our country. And we all went to the same church. There was no animosity between those guys. So war is not something to be necessarily glorified. For me, I think we as a civilization don't work hard enough to find peace and love and all that other stuff. But that's something. So, that I can say in my dotage. But everyone wants to have peace and respect, and today's climate is we need more peace, and this country and others have the ability to work both sides of the fence, and we can help people militarily, or we can help them in a humane way. And right now, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're trying to feed infants, supply hospitals, that type of thing, and also sending ammunition and other implements of destruction to two prominent areas on our planet that doesn't make sense to me, never has, never will. I'm a slow learner. I don't have the answers, but I have some wacky observations.
Well, on that, and you're absolutely right. And when we look at we look at the climate we're in, you know, yes, we're talking about theater this whole day, but really when it comes to, you know, as far as society goes and everything, we get a chance to once in a while put our finger on the pulse of here, you know, 1914 and here we are in 2023. In a lot of ways, we haven't learned a thing. And we not learned a single thing, and yet we don't want to repeat that stuff. And yet sometimes it's
Yeah,
it just happens, you know, and you don't want it to.
no,
Absolutely.
no, nobody, no one as a parent likes to see their child, you know, girl or son go off in a full-blown war. You know,
And I think those German and British soldiers, when they met, truthfully, they were looking at themselves. They realized that they're the same. They're the same. They're the same.
Yeah.
They don't want, in fact, many times they said, we don't want to fight anymore. What if we just lay our weapons down and go, but that's treason. You know, you lay your weapon down and quit, you're going to get shot, you know?
yeah, 4 years of trench warfare where little is gained, little is lost, other than lives. Yeah, the geography pretty much stayed the same, but the carnage and the hurt and the pain, well, it's still living on today. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's replete in most every culture and society. But I still maintain there's hope.
Yeah, absolutely. If we don't have that, we don't have anything.
Yeah.
So, you're a peace officer. Can you sum up your life as a peace officer? The thing that sticks with you, we're talking about soldiers can't describe. How do you describe, you know, what do you take away from being a peace officer and what's changed, you know, since then?
Yeah, I probably my best friend in law enforcement and I would get together once in a while and commiserate what drew us into that occupation. And after a couple of years of having this discussion, we decided we're in it because we couldn't do anything else. We weren't strong enough physically to do manual labor, and we didn't have the greatest intellect. So, you know, we'd be passed over if we tried to apply for an office job. So we were perfect fits for law enforcement. I don't mean to denigrate the law enforcement profession. But for me, it was just something I kind of wandered into. I didn't have any aspirations of becoming a police officer, but evidently it was a natural fit for me, at least in the communities that I served. And as far as the change in law enforcement, again, when I talked to retired colleagues, when I first got into law enforcement, there in some departments you always had a couple of heavyweight guys that were wearing badges that, you know, every once in a while you needed them, you know, to bust up a fight. But that was in the days when not everyone had guns, knives, or wouldn't think of defying a police officer. Now that's changed. But I think law enforcement, Jake and I were talking about a little bit, the pendulum does swing back. It's just like it reflects or mirrors the needs of our society. Right now we need, I think, police officers that are a little less military in some communities. And it's going to take a while for that to catch on. But I've read some comments from my former police chief, who's a contributor to magazines and newspapers and that type of thing. And that indeed the police officers, the police departments will, again, conform to what that particular community or or segment of society needs, but it always takes that dialogue between the people they serve and the people that pay them, and it's a great profession. I hope that more individuals get involved in it. And the risk is up a little bit from when I was in. But again, I think they're good. The better days are ahead for law enforcement.
Why, so peace officer, and now you've been doing theater for a long time. Why do you enjoy theater so much?
That's kind of interesting for me, probably not for anyone else, but when I was a freshman, uh, they just opened up an apartment complex on campus. I registered late because I was going to go to another institution, or I mean, a college. But anyway,
There's a story there somewhere.
yeah. So I was thrown in with 3 other guys, and one of them was a theater major, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. But over the course of the first couple of days, when you're getting to know, who your roommates are, this roommate of mine asked me if I had acted in high school, and said, yeah, I was in a couple of plays, some junior play and a junior class play and senior class play, and I told him what plays I was in. He said, well, you can't act. I mean, if you're doing that kind of stuff, that's not acting. And he was into Shakespeare and all this stuff. So yeah, I believed him. You can't act. So I didn't. That was something I wanted to do in college, but never did, because I was that gullible, that naive, that I believed what someone would tell me. Especially if they had some experience. But anyway, I didn't act until probably '02 or '03. When there's an open edition in Morris for the local community theater, Morris Playwrights is what it's called. So I get to the audition venue. It's the high school, and there are about 15 or 20 cars in London. And boy, I'm just going to go home. Carrie, my wife, was the impetus behind me going to this audition. So I thought I'd better go inside anyway. And so I get into the theater, the auditorium, and there are 2 people there, the co-directors. No one else is there. So I don't know what all these cards were doing there. Maybe they're getting ready for a car wash the next morning or something. But anyway, so I had an audition, and it was nerve-wracking with just 2 people. That I'd known for a long time. But so that kind of got me back into it. And again, for me, every time I get involved in a production, it's so much learning from people that have the experience, and so many are willing to share it, and so many they just exude something, a different character, and so yeah, theater is it's an outlet for the actors at times, but for me, it's always been a social thing. And I really like you guys.
We like you too.
And if we can have some fun and put on a good show, that's gravy.
Of
But
all the shows that you've been in, what's been your favorite character?
geez, I was Frampton Nuttall in high school. The name gives you a pretty decent impression of what the guy was like, or what I was trying to do with it. But after that, I've been really lucky to be in a lot of good plays, great scripts, but more importantly, great casts to work with and be part of. But if I had to single out one, I think it'd be Norman Thayer in On Golden Pond. That was, I liked, all the other opportunities that I've had, but for some reason, and then tomorrow you asked me that question, and then, say Lurch, Lurch. Well, there's a story behind that too. which I can't tell on camera. But
I think I know the story.
you know, that was such a treat. And again, you know, it's like, you know, I played basketball until I was 57 and competitively until I was about 51. I can't remember if I scored 15 points or had 5 rebounds or any. Stats mean nothing, but I remember are the guys that I played with and their wives and their kids. You know, I got to know. I played with one team for over 25 years, and it's the same thing for theater here. I've gotten to know and you folks and what you guys share and lend. Uh, when it comes to theater, is motivation for me not to let the people that act. You know, I don't want to get in your way. You know, just I want to do what I'm supposed to do. You know, and yeah, it's simple, fun, and maddening all at the same time.
That's absolute truth. That's absolute truth. So what kind of things would you like to see? This is kind of a weird question. I mean, what could we do as a theater better? Is there anything that you see I mean, to the building, is there anything we could do better? Is there anything that you look at and go, production wise or backstage or
House.
we were talking about, and we were all just talking about this earlier of things that, you know, you try to do, but you just can't do, or that we'd like to do, or.
You know, I in the number of years that I've been here, you know, there's so many positives when I compare and contrast this with other community theaters of communities our size or even larger. You know, we're the model, we're the prototype, I think, of what community theater can be. And you know, you've established such a wonderful youth program here that, and we've talked about this before too. Those children, those kids, are ready. You know, when I come to rehearsal, I'm never ready. Those kids are ready, and that's and the show. You know, in the shows that they do, and I know I've talked about this too. When I bring my grandchildren there. And they're kind of usually they're a little fidgety or get bored easily or something like that. It's not necessarily true, but they're so enamored, so captivated by these children productions that our youth have been involved in that, you know, for that hour and a half, they're entranced, and that's what this theater does. And there's another level here. You know, I've seen in the last 10 years or so, people that have never been on stage are welcome here.
Yep.
And are given a shot. Maybe it's not the lead, maybe it's a very important role. Maybe through attrition, you know, someone gets sick in the cast, they have to step up from, you know, 1 or 2 lines to, you know, 50 or something like that. But to watch someone that's been on the stage or just being on the stage, their inaugural, and through rehearsal, see how much confidence they have. And so I think this theater is an open invitation for other community members to take a stab at it. And you don't have to necessarily be on stage. There's so many other things you can do to make this theater work. But yeah, you guys have done a terrific job in thinking, you know, keeping in mind what's looming in the future, but making this situation the best it can be. I mean, by situation, I mean this particular edifice. It's what you guys have done is a better reflection than anything I can think of.
Wow.
You guys are really on top of it.
You've helped your presence on stage, being on the board, everything you contributed has just made us stronger and stronger and stronger. During COVID, you were there, you know, that we got so much energy and strength as a staff from knowing you had our back. And not only did you have our back, but you're being involved on stage. I mean, it's one thing to come to a production, but to just pitch in and be a part of the family. Patrons, of course, they're a part of our theater, but you know, the performers and directors and board members, it's a part of a family, and that's it's been truly amazing. Yeah, yeah. What's your hope for the Andrea?
Long range type hope.
Whatever comes to mind.
You know, I think to have this theater as a standard, but you know, maybe at some point in time, have a professional theater. I mean, there's only so much you can do with this space, and if a person could start anew, and you know, that would be expensive and that type of thing. But I can't think of anything that you guys have done wrong, and again, I think you have some strong board members now that have, you guys have accomplished a lot, and it's gonna, and the reputation of this place. I mean, yeah, you can't get seats, you know, for this winter show. Well, I don't want to go into all the details, but it's tough to get a ticket for some of the shows, and that's a great thing. And I think that's a great reflection of what's going on in this theater.
Yeah, you always want, truthfully, when it comes right down to it, the truth is you want to put butts in the seats. You really do. But if that can be a motivating factor, but right along with that, it's you want people to be happy, you want your directors to be happy, your actors to be happy, your patrons to realize that the money that they spend stays in this community. So you may pack the house out, that's awesome, but that money stays right here. And I think we're fortunate to be able to say that 100% of it does. You know, it's
spent wisely, you know, and invested wisely. I shouldn't say spent. It's the investment that our patrons have put faith in this organization, and it just thrills me so. And people that are friends of mine that come from a long way away to watch productions, even if I'm for sure, if I'm not in it, they'll be here. But you know what I mean? They just can't believe the level in every aspect of this theater. What a nice building. The cordiality of the greeters, you know, and it's just like going to church in some respects. But what goes on on stage, man?
the sermons are a little,
yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
People feel welcome here, and everyone that I know that comes from a distance and watches a play here are just taken by. They can't believe this theater is in this size of community. I mean, this is something you'd expect in, you know, a metro area, or maybe in if there's a theater district somewhere, this theater could be in that theater district.
Yeah.
May not be the biggest money maker, may not get the best talent, but when it's all said and done, I think these productions, the youth, right on up, they make such a connection with our audiences. It's an automatic bonus or sell. The word of mouth, I mean, is indispensable.
well, we want whether it's youth, whether it's, you know, you hope that you're giving them an education, but at the same time, you want their parents to see this as a safe environment, And if the parents think it's a safe, you want the whole family. And pretty soon you've got more than just that youth. You've got the parents, you've got the grandparents, and all of a sudden the guy goes, you know what, I'm gonna give that a shot. Next thing you know, you've got 2 or 3 new people on stage, and what it's all about.
Yep, community involvement.
You've probably already answered this, but why should the people give to the Andrea?
If they're thinking about it, they know it's right. Is the only way I can explain it. If you're not giving it, whatever you're donating to or whatever is out there, if you don't give it a thought, don't give. But if you're contemplating, give, because this organization, and like we talked before just a little bit ago, invests not only in this building, but in through education and partnerships with other entities in this community. Yeah, anything you can give is much appreciated. No matter the size of the donation, and it makes a person feel good. That's why we give. I believe that's why we're here on earth to give, some aspect of our life to share. There's only so much hoarding a person can do.
That's absolutely right. And just a reminder, of course, it's as Chuck would say, if you're going to donate, especially with these golden tickets, give an odd amount. Whether it's $50.19 or it's $25.33, whatever. The golden tickets, 2 years in a row, this man, his donation got a golden ticket and turned it into a $500 donation. So it's really cool. Chuck, I can't thank you enough for coming. Chuck, this is like his 4th or 5th year of coming at 5 o'clock. And that's a big deal. It's a big deal for us. So we're going to go off the air here for about 15 minutes and get ready for our waffle hour. Pat Sieve is here. And we're going to have some waffles. Waffles.
Waffles.
Waffle is what weebles eat. Weebles eat waffles.
Wombats.
Yeah, wombats eat waffles. Anyway,
I'm gonna turn off this.
so
Jake's
we'll be
gonna
back in
like
15 minutes, and we'll have some waffles. See you later. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.
You're on.
Good morning. Welcome back at 6 a.m. And our wonderful Patrick Sieve is here from Travelers Inn. And this hour, we're going to be making some waffles, but also we're giving away catering for 10 from Trav's Catering Service. So we would love for you to donate this hour. It's about what do we say? It's worth about $150.
Yeah, it really is. You
Eh,
kind of just go wherever you want with it. I just don't care.
Go in any event for 10
No
people.
stakes. No stakes.
No stakes, no stakes. And we have, just keep talking to him, Patrick, while I grab this sheet real quick.
This is a waffle iron, an industrial sized waffle iron. The ones that we use, it takes 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And we sell a lot of them on a Sunday. They're going constantly.
So if you're watching, it's a $50 donation today. So if you donate $50 or more, you're entered into a drawing. Anybody that gives during this hour of $50 or more, we'll draw one name. And so far, we've had two winners. Kent Kopp won the very first 2 season passes. Kelly Presby won the 4 vouchers to come see shows this year. And we'll see who wins. So this hour, $50 donation and catering for 10. So we ready?
Wouldn't that be amazing if Kent won his own prize? And he just like saved his own money? See that? Like his 2 bottles of wine, his whole dinner. Like, oh, I won. Wow, that's amazing for me. Okay.
So and remember, your donation today is tax deductible. And we're trying to raise money to do our handicap seating renovation. And we'd like to do that. So appreciate any gift that you could give, especially this hour, to be entered in the drawing to get catering for 10 from Travs.
Final glove double high five.
Yep.
Okay.
That was cute.
Let's start. Let's start with you.
Okay.
What waffle do you want? We have options. Candied pecans or pecans. We actually put these in the oven with our homemade maple syrup. It's incredible. We put it all over the
And then you bake them.
and we bake. Oh my god, they're just like delicious and full of sugar.
Oh, that's good.
Blueberries, chocolate chip cookie dough, and chocolate chips,
Chocolate chip.
or plain with
Huckleberry syrup from
huckleberry syrup
Montana.
from Montana, or our original homemade stuff.
So what? Let's take orders. So, what would you like?
You go
What kind of
first.
waffle would you like?
Yeah. Oh, she just woke up from a nap, so she's probably.
Okay, Holly, are you ready?
Olivia's got your.
Cookie dough.
Cookie dough.
Ooh, this thing.
Except I'm only doing half.
Yeah, we'll do little halvesies because they're kind of big.
Yeah.
Do you want to grab the here? I'll let you sprinkle them in there.
Just sprinkle just a few in there.
Sprinkle just a few in there.
Well,
You tell me how I'm doing here.
Quickly, David, quickly.
Oh,
don't mess it up, Dave.
Okay, that's good. Turn.
and there goes the timer. 2 minutes and 27 seconds left.
See?
So as we prepare ourselves for the next one, I'm gonna grab my sheet so I've got things to say to you.
Sheet.
I knew we're full of sheets.
Careful.
I'll trade places.
There
with
you go.
We again, those of you that are, is anybody watching? Do we have anybody watching?
10 people.
10 people. Well, hi, 10 people.
I hope one of them's my mom. Mom, is that you? She's always online. Like, I'll post something and she's like, like,
Like,
like always online.
You don't want her to like?
Of course I do. I'm just like, I always feel like she's just like always watching, you know?
Always watching. Always watching. We want to thank our corporate sponsor, for our season sponsor, actually, Alamere Health. We are really
Andy
grateful
Drews.
for
I'll get
that
it.
whizzed right by,
Yeah.
right by.
That's how it works, man.
We want to thank all those businesses that have donated Travelers Inn, Pike and Pint, all the giveaways throughout the day. We just are so grateful that they supported us and they really, it's more than just giving us something to give away. They support us throughout the year and they come to shows, are part of our family. and we're grateful for that. So Patrick and the guys at Travelers, they donate a lot of meals to the theater, and we're just beyond grateful for that because it's good food, it's good family fun.
Good for the kids. Like this summer it was good. We did taco in a bag for the kids for the theater productions for the kids, and I remember I dropped off like 10 pounds of taco meat and ran back and bust some tables and came back over here. I'm like, I actually do want a taco in a bag. And when I got back over here,
Gone,
gone.
gone.
It was like 20 minutes.
Eating frenzy.
And there was just like lettuce on the floor and cheese everywhere. And kids had sour cream on their chin. I'm like, well, that's sucks to be me.
But one thing you can do is the sprinkled cheese is with kids is like a nightmare.
And I'll tell you how I know that. Because there are people who come in who shall remain nameless because I'm not killing anybody here, but
Quiet.
some people have a hard time cleaning up after their children when they come to the line.
That's like perfect.
Buddy, I'm telling you, we turn 100 next year. You don't get there by selling crap, all right?
Period.
Wow.
Chocolate chip cookies up. You got to get that whipped butter. That's a special European style whipped butter.
Sure it is.
I need it like fourth. This is gonna be a struggle.
What do you want to put on there, do you think? Just syrup? Girl there. Who's next?
Jake
You, Blondie.
or Blondie?
I would love your candy pecan half waffle.
Ooh. Should we go to the other half?
Why not? You have four to choose from.
Well, those
Oh, you wanted me to do my thing.
do your thing.
Do your thing.
This is fun. Never gets old, really. It's fun. You think of people coming up to you and be like, man, that was so delicious. That never gets old. It doesn't. Like, it just happens so rarely that somebody walks up and is like, that was horrible. I want my money back and I want to talk to the manager. So, it makes me happy. So, what's going on with I'm sure, have we talked about all this awesomeness?
Yeah, and we showed it off. Olivia did a wonderful demonstration of everything, and
Well, she had to fold all the shirts, so she should have got some
Yeah, I
a little
did.
screen time.
Make a fun noise every time.
I've
Did
heard
you
it
do
like
it?
6 times already. I'm like,
She
ugh.
want to hear it again.
You freaked Jake out because you grabbed the water and then closed it,
I
and then
closed
the
it.
alarm
It's
went
fine.
off,
You
and she
shut it.
thought it
It's
was.
not my fault.
I mean, that's some high tech stuff you guys got going on here. This isn't your grandpa's Andrea Theater. I tell you what. Here.
So while we have a break here, if you're just tuning in, $50 donations, 50 and up, are getting entered into a drawing to win catering from Travs for 10 people. So
It's me and my brother Danny. He's helping me out. He's a very accomplished cook.
Danny.
Danny. That's him.
So make sure you do that. Make sure you do that. So we'll randomly draw one at the end of this hour. Anyone that's donated $50 or more, and we'll get that information to Travs.
Oh,
People are starting to
the
walk
boss is
by.
here.
Oh,
Heads up.
the boss is here. Everybody be quiet.
Straight.
Christine's coming in. Christine's coming in. Christine's coming in.
We're behaving
Well,
ourselves.
isn't it? She walks in. She's like, "Hi." We're all. She's all bouncing and fluffy.
She's already spent 45 minutes doing yoga and yeah.
Yep.
Had her chai tea.
Did you do goat yoga this morning?
No, we should do that next year.
Those of you who don't remember the year that we brought a goat and then we lost the goat.
Is that for real?
Yep. We brought a goat in and we lost him. And Jake and I are trying to find the goat and it walks behind us in the darkness.
Can I talk about goat yoga? And like the repercussions of goat yoga? Like people talk about how fun it is, but do you know what actually happens?
Their little hooves would probably be real
It's cute,
painful.
but do you know
We
like
go potty.
that's right, thank you. And nobody talks about it. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, goat yoga. And I'm
So
like,
fun, and then you're on the
they kind
yoga
of,
mat.
you know,
Go.
it's like it's not they're barnyard animals.
Oh, here we go.
Christine, we have chocolate chip
Oh, I
cookie.
heard. I've been listening.
Oh, have you been?
Drive here. I already know what my order is.
Oh, let's hear it. Ladies first. All the
Candy pecan, please.
Oh, that's number 2. Leah, come get it.
It smells incredible.
Fresh off her world tour that those of us stuck in Douglas County get to watch on Facebook. Going, Okay. Pecan.
So excited about this moment. Oh, these are yours.
From this moment. It smells so good in here right now.
It
Yeah,
really
it
does.
It's insane.
Yeah. It's the butter, I think.
The butter.
Fried butter.
Ah, that's good for a little bit more. Yeah, yeah.
She's looking at what
There you go.
dainty these days. I'll put some meat on her bone. You could about imagine what it looks like underneath here after a long day. It's a real mess.
I know what it looks like at the Holiday Inn when they have those.
I know, I
It
don't.
looks like,
Yeah,
it looks bad.
Tammy Drews and Brooklyn.
Tammy Drews,
They say
hello
good
Tammy.
They say good morning.
Good morning, Brooklyn. Good morning, Tammy. We're making waffles. We're raising money for our handicap seating project. $50 donation or more during this hour gets you entered into a drawing for catering by Travs for 10 people.
Where is the handicap seating going? For though I have no idea.
Well, the camera's not on it, but right now where we normally enter the theater, on the far right of that set of doors and the far left of the set of doors, we will have holes cut in so handicaps, wheelchairs and their companions can wheel right straight into them
Sweet.
and have their own little platform and should be pretty nice.
Along
And,
with the Bluetooth for the hearing aid that we got last year.
yep,
Quite a
hearing loop system is in.
and it's set up there.
Yep, so it's good.
The benefits of living in a retirement community. You know, raising money. for
I'm
all-
getting there. I'm getting
Yeah.
there. I'm gonna need it soon.
I always say, this time of year, I'll walk into work. Most of the tourists are gone, so we're just left with all the locals. The locals. Just kidding. But I'll
Notice
walk
I'm-
in. I'll
Notice
walk in.
I'm
I'll
working
say,
my way off camera.
Yeah. Notice
Say,
the projects that are coming up that's picked by somebody.
yeah. I'll say it looks like, oh, what's that? What's that place out by the interstate where the old folks all live out there? The big one.
Grand Harvest.
Grand Arbor,
Yeah.
thank you. I'll walk in and I'll say, was there a fire at the cafeteria at Grand Arbor? Because I'll look in there, I'll be like, not one person in here is under 70. And we love them. And that's why, like, I think with this next menu, because the price of groceries is going way up, and I'm kind of getting my butt kicked a little bit on that front. I think I'm going to make some adjustments to egg prices and stuff like that, but I think I'm just going to leave the senior menu alone because they're on like they're fixed incomes and they love it there. So, and we love them. Okay.
My egg bake gonna go up.
Ouch. Probably, yeah. You mean your 7-egg bake?
So good.
Things like this all the time.
I know.
Christine, you have to come be on camera for a second to doctor that up. Jakob?
You get the next person. I'll go or the glass.
Chip.
Chocolate chip.
Chocolate.
She had a
Didn't think I'd finish that and I did. It's really good. So good.
Brooklyn says she's gonna have to make waffles to experience the smell.
she could just come
Tell
down here.
Brooklyn she should come here.
That's right.
We should just open the
Come on,
doors and
Brooklyn.
fan out the smell.
That's one of the beauties of like I'll get out of my car in the back of the restaurant and I can tell what they're making. Like they're making bacon. There's bacon in the oven and all that stuff. You can just smell it outside. Same thing with Domino's Pizza. Oh man, I can smell the pepperoni pizzas. It's gracious. What's with the putters? Is there a putting contest today?
We're having a 9-hole tournament. And holes, we got sponsors for each of the holes and
Oh, like a real fundraiser, like
like the bowling one today.
What time is that?
It's 2 to 4, and we're looking for sponsors to sponsor us for $10 a strike.
Ooh.
Hey, there ain't gonna be that many strikes.
No, in fact, I just like, are there odds? Is it like,
We're gonna try to get a practice round in before we do it for real to see if we can.
give me a grade on your bowling skills.
Tammy Drews is in the running for catering.
Oh, yeah, Tam.
Woohoo, Tammy!
Oh, how would you consider yourself a bowler? I was very surprised by your golf game in the spring.
Oh,
I was. You hit it hard. He hits it far. He does. I mean, you grew up in
Wyoming, there's not much to do.
well, exactly. So you moved from one place where there's not much to do to another place where there's not much to do, which means you should probably be a pretty solid bowler. What's the bowling culture in Wyoming? Because there's a pretty
Trailer park, cigarettes, and bowling.
well, yeah. I mean, haven't you ever seen Lebowski?
I don't know if I've ever watched it all the way through.
Really? I mean, it's like a cult classic. The people who watch it just love it. But very heavy. Have you ever seen Kingpin?
Yes.
Fairley Brothers, one of their best. My brother AJ and I love to.
Oh, I forgot, we got garbage.
Oh yeah, that's right. Christine's, how is that?
Delicious.
Isn't it? Well, you guys are lucky that you get to dress up like pigs in such decent weather. It's not too bad out.
Yeah.
Because it could be 5 degrees for all we know.
When we go off the air, it's like we gotta get ready, don't we?
Yeah.
Those of you that are watching, if you want to, in the next hour, starting at 7 o'clock. Quiet.
Now, if you work in that kitchen, I'm sorry, if you work in the kitchen, that beep is what you wake up to at about 2 a.m. in a cold sweat. No more. Please.
Between 7 and 9, you can bring your change down. The change in your car, you can just grab a handful or just give us all the change. We'll give you a hot apple cider, and we have 5 inflatable pigs that are going to be waiting for you right out on the sidewalk. So
dancing.
Sounds like a threat more than anything else.
Waiting for
There's
you.
gonna be 5 inflatable pigs ready to fight.
Ready for this? Hold up. Have you ever played this game?
Oh,
wait.
It's been a while. All right. Here we go. Oh, snap. I'm not strong enough.
You have to hit it on the other side, dude.
What do you mean?
I show you.
I thought you go like this.
Hmm.
Yeah, you go this way.
Oh, up here.
Yeah.
Dollop.
Too old these days. The kids got me covered.
Okay. Ah, it's stuck.
So much for that nice carpet.
Area, yay!
She sure showed me, didn't she?
Listen.
Clean up aisle 1. I got it.
Sorry.
I got it. You go
I
get your
spilled
waffle.
water and I spilled milk already.
Nice.
Get the Lex.
Hey, you're not-
The waffle and
It was on, mine was on the counter. I did nothing to the
Jake,
I'll take a waffle,
what kind?
just a plain waffle.
You're getting a big one because you're
You can stay up late.
Claude? Carl?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Hey, we have chocolate chips, pecans, chocolate chip cookie dough,
Oh my gosh.
or blueberries.
The cookie dough one.
Yeah, that's my
right.
guy there.
Really,
The kids love the cookie dough.
The kids love it.
My kids are crawling.
Are you putting that on?
This.
Well, you were busy, so I was
Really?
What kind of, you got chocolate chips in there?
You seeing that?
So that'd be interesting with that.
Is that normal?
Actually, that might be bad.
I'm just taking an example of it. Let's see that.
About this time last year, Dave and I were rolling burritos to, what's that song from Ghost? Remember that?
Oh, gosh. I'll be honest, I don't remember a lot from last year.
I
I just
Wasn't it?
said-
Never close your eyes. Nope, that's not. It's Unchained Melody.
Yeah.
Come on over here, big fella.
So, where's your vacation?
Yeah.
You
Ironically,
guys are having way too much fun with the fact that you're wearing rubber gloves.
It's the simple things in life.
it takes
And the fact that you're both sleep deprived.
blue collar guys like me. I'm like, I feel important.
Yeah.
They're like, now go make my waffle, boy. I'm like, okay, sorry.
I've got a thing in Sarah used to have on the wall that said, to confuse your doctor, put on rubber gloves at the same time he does.
That would be, oh, very
That's
awesome.
a power move. I like.
Yeah.
Like, I'll show you.
I need to be.
Oh,
On my back, my hair, they're like, she was right.
I used to have a list of the things to do to
It
irritate
just
me.
stopped
One is to
to
stand
warm.
on the side of the highway in your car, the hair dryer as people drive by. And time them, and the other was no matter what people say, go, oh yeah, that's what you think. Over and over again.
That's awesome. I want
Celeste Eden Lop says, good morning. Where are the bananas?
Beggars.
You know what I want to try? I watched a thing about Graceland the other day about Elvis, and I really want to try a peanut butter and banana sandwich.
Have you never?
No, but he had it fried. They would, and they'd grill it, and I was like, okay, gotcha.
Did you see the movie Elvis?
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah, it is.
Priscilla is coming out now, though.
Oh, is it? I mean, they're right when they say 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It's just 2 minutes and 35. It wouldn't look like
They
this.
just know.
It's a
They
nice
just know.
waffle. It's a nice waffle.
It is.
It's not mine.
Nope.
No.
Jake?
You want a full one or you want a half one?
I'll take half.
No.
Okay.
Don't ask teenagers if they want full or half.
He's got to dance.
Well,
You're gonna need that in your
I'm
drink.
gonna dance with a belly full of cookie dough. I'm doing this.
You go, girl.
We got
Yeah.
14 people on.
That's what you think.
Guess you got a little rambunctious there, didn't you?
Well, look,
14 people watching. Just as a reminder.
more than a dozen.
What?
Nailed it.
Keep going.
Donating this hour, it's a $50 donation to the Andrea Theater. It's tax deductible, but it's also just to remind you that if you do during this hour, we're going to randomly pick one of you to win catering for 10 people from our good friends, travelers in.
And that, like, I think if I can remember this, it's like you get to pick between, oh man, it's like scalloped potatoes, sloppy joes, like lasagna, and goulash, baked potato bars, and build your own burger bars, and just a million. I mean, our menu's online. If you go to our menu, you can find it on our Instagram page and our Facebook page. It's pretty extensive. It's kind of fun. We're pretty lenient too. We could probably just do whatever you want. We do a lot of breakfast stuff. We do egg bakes. Holly loves the egg bakes. And caramel rolls usually when we are catering for breakfast. We'll do an egg bake. And caramel rolls, and people usually just cut the caramel rolls in half or quarters. And they get a little egg, little caramel rolls and cinnamon rolls. Works out pretty dandy. But a little harder to do in the summertime when we're rocking and rolling down there.
They're so loud, but the outlets in there aren't working, so they weren't heating.
Oh,
So that's why we moved over.
These right here.
Yeah.
This is a fun. That noise that you hear is the hot apple cider heating up. So it's not a ghost in the room. It's
just getting warm.
was it warming up?
It did right off the bat, but then like the lights went off.
Yeah.
While they were plugged in, and Christine
Does that
said
mean that
also
they're
doesn't work
heated
very
up?
well.
That means that next year's Give to the Max will be to redo the electrical at the Andrea Theater. They're running short of wattage here.
We'll need a couple years of
What?
good match for that to work.
Oh,
Yeah.
this year for Give to the Max, we're trying to get 2 gas-powered generators for the Andrea Theater so we can heat up cider.
Yeah, cider.
Hopefully those two plugged in the same outlet. I gotta blow it from there.
Well, you know what? Right now we're worried about waffles.
We are.
You guys and your cider for the next 2 hours, you can kick rocks. It's waffle time. All right, kid, you ready?
Nice.
Yeah.
6, 5,
Here we go.
4, 3, 2, 1.
There it is. Yep. Well done.
Thank you.
That is the sound
Of heaven.
of heaven.
That is the sound of type 2 diabetes.
Same thing.
It is insane.
Thank you.
Okay, who's left? Mr. David, you're gonna have to eat.
Does Donna want one?
Donna, Magnuson's here. What do you want for a waffle? Blueberry, pecan, cookie dough, plain, chocolate chip? Do you want just to take the whipped cream and stick it in your mouth? And
Yes, can I? I can do that. Blue, oh, I have choices. Chocolate chip.
There you go.
I'm gonna have something when I make chocolate.
How'd you sleep?
Yeah,
You look well rested.
thank you.
You're welcome. I've learned how to talk to women. My wife.
You better. How was Garden Bar last night?
Short-lived. Back to the real world pretty quick.
Good. Ooh, this looks good.
So you should be getting in your vehicles here in about a half an hour to bring your change down to the theater to see the Blow Up Pigs. And here's some music, watch them dance, and accept your lovely gift in their buckets from the farm. So make sure you do that between 7 and 9.
Perfect time because you're just bringing your kids to work or to school.
Bringing your kids to work.
You're going to work.
Some might be bringing them to work. Maybe it's bring your kid to work day.
Maybe doubtful. Doubtful.
Let's
But
make it that way officially. Just bring your kid to your job. Be
see,
fine.
now that's how I got roped into all this food stuff. Is like my dad said, it's bring your kid to work day when I was 11, but he was lying, and then I just have been working ever since.
He just puts you on.
Yeah. He's like, bring your kid to work day. Here's the bus stop. I'm like, oh, this is fun. I'm gonna go home. He's like, you will do what I say.
You're busting
You're
tables today.
punch back in tomorrow.
We'll teach you the dishwasher later.
Well, it's actually kind of cute because Violet started last year handing out menus and silverware, and it just makes people melt. She just runs around with menus and drops them down. People are like, oh my gosh, is that your daughter? I'm like, it is. And then she works for like 20 minutes, and then she goes, Dad, yeah, my legs are tired. Can I go into the office? I'm like, fine, that's fine. Here's my phone.
The funny thing is, if they were outside or if they were at Nickelodeon Park, they'd
Yeah.
be running for hours. Their legs don't get
Yeah.
tired.
It's a boredom thing, I think,
I know.
right?
Then they're like, oh, my legs are tired. Like,
Yeah,
my
and
kids would
like,
do that too when we were helping them like clean the house, and I'm like, but you could run around the yard for 3 hours.
and like little old ladies will give her like $1 or something for a tip, and she just lights up. She looks at me as if she's not supposed to take it. That's yours. That's how it works. Anyway,
Hope we
Who's
get that
next?
cider heated up because here's your lukewarm cup of cider. Have a great day.
It'll be warm. It was already a little warm.
yeah, it's working. Like I told Dave, I mean, that thing's from Amazon, so it's got to work. There's no way it doesn't. So you don't become the richest guy in the world by selling junk to people. And we use it at the Travs. We use that for,
Yeah, they used it. Yeah, you said it's brand new.
yeah, we just use it on Sundays when people are waiting in line so they can have coffee. I always say, folks, get yourself a cup of coffee. You're way less irritable when you're drinking coffee, and I can kind of deal with you in that fashion. They just go, where's my seat? Miss Donna, whipped cream? I'll let you do your own thing, girl. Last but not least, you, sir.
Oh,
Now remember,
are you going to need to feed the other students when they come?
you first. You have to eat because you have to
I have one. Please.
Which one?
Just plain.
There. Now Dave has his own order down at the local diner. It
It hasn't made the menu yet. He's a little
hasn't made the
upset.
menu, but it's
It's not if it really mattered to you. You
It's
put it on.
well, that space is precious there. The menu space is precious.
I get it.
It's called the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes. Dave's 1, 2, 3.
Dave's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's
One waffle,
one waffle.
2 eggs.
Hold on, let me see how to do this. 2 eggs, 3 pieces of sausage.
Wow, yeah, that's what you get when you get sausage.
Right? What's the 4?
It's toast because there's 4
pieces.
on the toast. Put
What?
the eggs on the toast.
Well, how do you start? Waffle first?
Well,
Back
usually
and
I'll
forth?
cut it in half and take half home but yeah, waffle first.
Because there's certain ways to eat like a lot of this stuff. There's the thing we have down there called the Hungry Man. It's very popular, especially with the young kids.
Surprised you don't have a log jammer or something.
I like the
the
Supreme
same.
Skillet, but I can't get it on Sundays anymore.
Which one?
Supreme Skillet.
Yeah, you can. It's on the Sunday menu. Yeah. There's only. Yeah, I make a lot of them on Sundays.
I think.
People like that one because it's about 4 pounds of food. These little old ladies will come up to me and be like, "You know what I love about
I
this?"
just love
Like,
those
what's that? I
potatoes
eat
and
for the whole
gravy.
week for $12.
I don't think I've ever finished it either.
It's a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
But there's certain ways to eat. Like let's just say, that Hungry Man. It's 2 pancakes,
Oof.
2 eggs, 2 sausage, 2 bacon, hash browns. But if you go for the plate that's got the eggs, hash browns, bacon, and sausage, and you get that thing done first, then you turn to the other plate. It's 2 pancakes. That's tough to do after
Yeah.
you've got.
Yeah.
So you got to go half here, jump over to this plate, and then go back to the half. So I tell, like, let's just say the football team came in last week after their big win. By the way, go Cards here on Friday.
Right.
Big game.
Big game.
But they came in and I said, okay, if you're all going to sit here and order a Hungry Man, because they all do. I said, whoever doesn't finish has to buy for the rest of everybody else. No, yeah, think I can't finish or what? Just saying.
So, we have about 10 more minutes, for you to give $50 to be entered into the, drawing for, catering from Travs. So $50 donation. Please give if you can. We really appreciate it. Right? And I'm gonna,
Now, had you ordered the full waffle, you wouldn't fit into your piggy pasta here in about the next 20 minutes.
there's a lot of room once you get it blown up.
Hey, what can do you want some syrup? Just like the way you have it down on the counter? You're going there, huh?
I'm going,
Who's left, anybody?
I don't know if there's anybody left. Maybe you need to get one now.
Not a big breakfast guy. I don't eat much breakfast.
I don't either.
Oh,
I don't really.
why is the house?
I can't.
I don't know. It's like
Anyway.
I've been around it my whole life. It's just like they smell bacon. I think work.
Dave,
It's just weird. Like I get in there and my appetite's just hurt every day.
I just want to mention that because we have 17 people, so.
We're going to, there's 17 of you watching, and probably what we're gonna do here in 10 minutes is we're gonna shut the feed down, and so you'll have to reconnect back up again. But it'll all work out, it'll be peachy, and the next hour, we're gonna be out there on the sidewalk, so make sure you tune back in. Or please, just drive down and see us. We'd love to see you down here donating the change from your car, whatever you've got in your car. If you've got a little piggy bank like I have a little cup full of change. That's what I brought in. So,
But just like don't come down here and like empty your garbage from your car like it's a Zips car wash. Like just the money, not
Yeah.
anything else from your
Yeah.
car. Okay.
yeah.
Like, and if you're like reaching and you grab like a handful of change, that's great. But if there's like hair binders and stuff in there, make sure you pick those out of there, and then be courteous. Come on, just get your act together.
So, our goal today is we're trying to raise 15,000 for our handicapped seating project. So we're almost to 2,000. So we got a ways to go, but we're working hard, and it's gonna start picking up now because we got stuff going on.
Brooklyn says, guess I have to call in sick so I can come see you guys.
There you go. There you go. See?
There are ways to call in sick. Do you know that?
Pick up the phone.
That's one way. But there are excuses that you can use that are more valid than other excuses.
You go on.
Huh?
Go on.
And
always saying something like, having gastro issues usually is the best way to go, I find. You know, when someone says, you know, I can't stop, you just go, okay, well, you better not come in here. You know what I mean? If you catch my drift, and enjoy your food. Oh. These were purchased off of Amazon. I hope that
They work great.
this warms up because the forks don't work. Oh, there, it's hot. Hot.
Mm. Oh,
So Dave's a big huckleberry guy because he's from Wyoming. And in Wyoming, they eat huckleberries? Is that right?
we don't have them in
Montana.
Montana.
That's right.
Well, they probably have them in Wyoming somewhere, but I've never seen them.
Sound of silence.
Justin Zavagil says thanks for the early morning entertainment.
Well, Justin we cooked out on the sidewalk this summer. What did we make? Burgers?
Yep.
That was fun. What show was that for? I forget.
It was after Annie.
Was it? I didn't tell Christine, but there was like some grease spottage out there.
Yes, there was.
Yes, there was.
She made me scrub it.
She did not.
Yeah, she wouldn't let me go to the ball.
Yeah, no, we cleaned everything up, and by the way, that grill sat here for like 4 months.
Yeah, it did.
It sure did. I was like, I'll just get that tomorrow. I'll just, and I kept driving, you know, I drive by the theater on my way home, and I would just like look in there, I'm like, oh God, I gotta go get that someday. And then my kids were like, let's have smash burgers. And I went, I don't have a grill. I'm gonna go get that.
I just want to point out, Justin's watching. Justin promised us at some point he's going to get on stage. So I'm putting that out there that you promised. And we're going to make that happen.
Did he really promise?
Yep. Yes, he did.
Oh. And you know what else too? It's just you're not getting any younger. You know, your looks are going to fade fast. So you better get up on stage quick. Trust me. I know. I look at myself in the mirror and I go, man, you just look terrible. So you got to do this. It's this year. It's what? It's Justin.
Oh, then that's okay.
Yeah, thank you. All right. I got a gnarly look from Miss Donna.
Jessica Paulson's in the running for catering.
Yeah, Jess.
Yay,
And
Jess.
seconds ago, Brianna Barnum.
Yeah, right. Jovi.
It's good.
Justin
Good.
says, I'm going to stay adorable forever, Patrick.
Oh, good for you.
Adorable.
Wait, hold on. Jess Paulson needs to win that catering because she has a family to cater for. She's made up like us. There's 6 people in the family.
Justin, let's call it what it is. Willow's adorable.
That's true.
So, you know.
He's got lots of animals.
Yeah, you got animals now. That's true.
People, we'll say this about Willow and what people say to me all the time. My God, your daughter is just beautiful. Must take after her mother. I go,
They your kids take out after you.
I got one that looks like me. Spitting image. The other that looks like the 4th one is about 3 months old now. It's a toss up, but it looks like I'm gonna lose. It's starting to look like my firstborn. It looks just like my wife. So, and that's not bad.
Maybe if you worked a little harder.
Yeah, just what it is, I guess. I thought we were gonna have all girls forever. The first 2 came out girls, and I pictured myself as the dad in church, going up to communion and just following 4 girls down the aisle. Because I've seen that.
That'll be when you pay for the weddings.
Okay, those are nice and hot, huh?
They're getting there.
Should we test one out?
Do you hear the bubbling?
Do we have a cup? Let's find a cup. Let's see if it's
Get a
hot.
cup. Okay, so we're gonna go off the air here in about 5 minutes. Just as a reminder, We're coming up on the donate to the piggies out on the sidewalk. So the next thing you see when you come back will be inflatable pigs.
How many?
Hot apple cider. There's at least 4,
How many costumes do you have?
5.
Boy, should I just skip work and take them to kids to school?
Oh, right. You ready? You're gonna eat up this compliment you just got. Patrick Seed getting bitten by the acting bug is one of the best things that happened to the Andrea. Thank you for your dedication, passion, generosity, and positive energy, says Jessica Ray.
Oh, very sweet.
Who's Jessica? Jessica Ray?
Isn't that just
Is that Pulse?
Paul said.
Jessica,
I
please.
just want-
Come on.
Someone sounds jealous.
look at? See the steam?
I see the steam.
Ready to rock. Thank you, Bezos.
So really, Jessica, come on. I mean, really? I mean, that's a bit much.
I love how your tone changed when Chuck isn't, here to throw accolades on you, buddy.
Yeah.
Were you getting your shoe shined by
Jessica
Chuck?
says, "Love you too, Dave." Goes without saying.
Oh. Were you guys in, what shows were you guys in together?
Who's that?
You and,
Chuck?
you and Jessica.
Jessica and I have never been in the
We've
show
done
together,
improv.
other than the improv.
Oh yeah. That's coming up.
It is.
What is that? New Year's Eve. 5 to 7, 7 to 9.
Just you wait for those posters and graphics.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this year? Oh. Oh, cuts. I want to
I
hear.
don't like that.
Huh?
I had
It's
fun.
gonna be great.
I had fun making them.
Did you?
You don't know. Yeah, you know.
I know,
Your face
I
is
haven't seen it,
Oh.
but I know what it is.
Okay. Oh. Leah, you all right?
Yeah.
You want some coffee?
No, I don't drink coffee.
Do you want some hot apple cider?
Oh.
Oh.
Maybe I'll have some after I'm done serving everybody.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. What you got?
Because of the. Patrick made a mess. Jessica, do you see?
He has a problem.
Oh man, I love this. This I mean, this is what I do for a living. I just wipe people's. Everybody's like, man, this must be so great owning a restaurant. I'm like, I wash dishes and wipe everybody's tables. No,
Yes, Carolyn.
it's not like, no, I'm a busboy. I am a glorified busboy, and that's okay. That's everything. But to see somebody else do it with such vigor, passion. Look at his face.
Bigger,
He had,
bigger,
Bigger.
bigger.
he had a look about him. Here, I'll take. Put those back. Yes.
All right.
There's still a half a waffle up for grabs.
Waffle?
Yep, we got it. It's gonna go into the trash. It's fresh and delicious. Do you want maple syrup and butter on it?
All right, okay.
All right. You can.
All right.
You Minnesota.
Come to the dark side.
Minnesotans, I swear.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go on our break real quickly and set up for the next section. We'll be back on at 7:00. Bring your change down to the theater, and all will be well. Thanks so much for tuning in, and bye.